Dr. Mel, and welcome to Dr. Mel's Message. I have an exciting interview for you today. Why? Because I have the Captain Pump. Now, wait, have you ever heard of that? Well, I know I have. His books, he's got 3 of them out, are amazing. If your kids like to read chapter books, this is the book for you. The first one is now available for pre-sales, and the other 2 are for pre-sales as well. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce you to the author, Jason Finney. Jason, welcome to Dr. Mel's Message.
Hi, Dr. Mel. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, I'm excited because you have a fabulous set of books, and I cannot wait for my readers to get to know who you are through not only your books, but you as a person. So, first of all, I want to do a sneak peek and give them the book trailer so we can actually really jump in and talk about it.
Captain Pump, Captain Pump, he saves the day the healthy way. Captain Pump, Captain Pump, he'll help you run, jump and play, and he always knows just what to say. Captain Pump, 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 Captain Pump.
Now that you've seen that, isn't it exciting? I mean, who wouldn't want to not only read the book, but the cartoons too are out there and an album? Jason, how are you doing all of this?
Oh, geez, it's a passion project. For me, it's really a question of just putting all my loves together. I've been a performer for many, many years in film and television, and I've always been involved in some kind of sports growing up. And then I studied kinesiology in the university, and really just took a liking to the whole concept of being able to help kids after working with them on different film and television shows. So I thought that, let me just figure something out to make all this come together in one nice little package, and Captain Pump was born.
Wow, amazing.
Thank you.
Now, each of the series touches on a different topic for kids.
Correct.
What the first book of Captain Pump, what is it touching about? What's the theme of that one?
Well, it's the inception of Captain Pump and how Captain Pump comes to life. Really, he's a figment of the imagination of Janitor George, who in the real world is wishing to help the kids become fit and healthy, but doesn't have the know-how to do it, even though he's fit himself. Some people are really good at doing it, but they can't necessarily pass it on. So George is one of these characters, and he's an unlikely superhero himself. I mean, he's someone who works as a janitor, who pushes a broom around and not taken seriously at all by any of the teachers or the principal or anybody else at the school, except for one teacher who actually likes him and really thinks he's got more to offer than just being the custodian who pushes a broom around. And, I wanted to, take that angle and start the book and show people how, being someone who's not necessarily the obvious choice for a hero doesn't mean you can't be a hero. So we talk about that. And then we also get involved in different situations that happen in Pumpland, because Pumpland is the colorful world that happens simultaneously at the same time. But you have to have the magic comic book in order to get there, which of course is in the possession of George. It's a whole thing.
Well, I know that you have the book with you right now.
I do.
I want you to hold it up and open it. I want you to explain to the viewers why some stuff is in black and white, which you already told me, and why they're in color, but I want them to see it.
That sounds good. So the black and white world is the real world.
Okay.
Now, as we start the whole concept of Captain Pump and the story, it happens in the real world. However, Captain Pump, you'll notice, is in color. No matter if Captain Pump is in the real world or Pumpland, he's always depicted in color.
Okay.
Now, when they travel to Pumpland, then the world in its entirety becomes colorful.
Oh, how beautiful. These drawings are magnificent.
Thank you. And Pumpland is a place where everyone is fit, everyone is healthy and kind to one another. And that's what we call becoming a pumpster. So if you want to become a pumpster, there's all the know-how right here in the book.
Can I be an honorary pumpster?
Absolutely.
Because I need that. And speaking of that, I know that you also have services available for health coaching, which I have participated in with you as well. So that's kind of like a diversion, which is you're still being you and you're being an author too. So congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. Well, at the end of the book, you see, we have different elements like Captain's Gym, for example.
Okay, yes.
This offers the children opportunities to exercise and learn different ways of becoming fit. And then we have other elements, which we call the Captain's Cupboard, where we speak about different foods and, snack choices and things like that, where perhaps, they could substitute certain sugary treats with fruits or, even a good glass of water. Trying to get a kid to drink a glass of water. Now that's an accomplishment.
That is, I mean, I appreciate that. Especially this summer, heat, kids will go outside and play and run, but they don't hydrate themselves.
Right.
So I think that's a very important element of your book. Now, book 2, what is the theme of book 2?
Well, book 2 has to do specifically with one character in Pumpland who's the major villain. His name is Freddy Fudge. Now, Freddy Fudge is all about trying to get the kids of Pumpland addicted to Sugar 2.0, which is his invention, which is the sweetest compound ever produced, known to man or any other place in the universe. Now, the concept has to do with him finding a way to get into Pumpland. But in order to do that, he has to prove that his sugary substance works. And the whole storyline revolves around that, trying to figure out how, Freddy Fudge can somehow finagle his way into the Pumpland airspace and figure out how he can get everyone addicted. I don't want to give away the whole story.
And then Captain Pump, what a catchy theme song, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Comes to the rescue.
Captain Pump comes to the rescue, but he gets word from someone else in Pumpland and tells him about what the situation is. There's always a group of people helping out, and Pumpland is fantastic because you have the whole forest animals section, for example, that take care of the environment, and their job is to make sure that the environment's clean and well cared for. And then we have other elements like the farmers, for example, who grow the fruits and the vegetables that feed all of Pumpland. And then we have another element that's taken care of that we only introduce at the end of book 3, which talks about becoming an individual who is kind and helpful and confident and wants to make a difference and help people and be someone who contributes in a positive way to other people's lives.
Wow. A lot of times authors write children's books, and I've got plenty out there myself. But a lot of writers don't put in a practical moral or theme or help for children. They just start these fantasies type of things. But with yours, it's entertaining, it's fun, it's definitely colorful. And this is the first time I've ever seen the concept between black, white world versus the color world. Magnificent.
A black and white world, which is the real world, and then the colorful world of Pumpland.
Right. So that's amazing.
Yeah, we can usually distinguish between the two worlds. If it's in black and white, it's the real world.
If it's in color, you know where you are.
Yeah, you're in Pumpland.
Well, yeah. Jason, you are astounding in your writing.
Oh, thank you.
And I've read the series, and like I said, we don't want to give all of it away, but I highly endorse your series.
Oh, thank you.
As Dr. Mel. So listen up, my viewers, okay? This is the real deal. If you have a child, if you babysit a child, if you've had nieces and nephews, or you're a grandparent or a teacher, get this set of books. Let the children enjoy themselves, especially right now in the summer, in their reading time, because they're going to get healthy, they're going to get fit, and they're going to fall in love with Captain Pump. So, Jason, what's next for you?
Well, I just want to mention one quick thing. At the end of the book, also, we have Captain Pump speaking directly to the reader. So at the end of the story and all of the adventures and everything else is completed, Captain Pump comes back and speaks directly to the reader and kind of reiterates what happened, and they review it together. So the reader feels like Captain Pump is speaking directly to them. And I really think that's important because I had that growing up, with with Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Green Jeans. And, you had people that were actually really real individuals speaking directly one-on-one with you, or you actually thought you did, you thought you
Right.
were.
And you found part of it.
And I wanted to do that with the book. I wanted to have something where Captain Pump really directly connects to the kids, because I think it's really important that the kids have a special role model that they believe in, that they could, go to and know it's a positive way of doing things. And Captain Pump is all about that. He's all about making sure that the kids are doing the right things, but also empowering themselves to make sure that they do the right things. So it's not an adult saying you need to do this. So the book itself teaches the kids how to do things, but the empowerment comes from them themselves.
Now, you also, not only do you have the 3 books coming out, you have an album coming out?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, the fun thing is that when we started this project, or when I started the project and I wrote the books, and COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I figured, okay, I need to figure out a way to, market this whole thing and get online, because I think, that's the direction that we're going to be going into. So I had the books, and then I met you. And then you had suggested that I should have some kind of little mini video to promote the books.
Aren't you glad I did that?
I'm very glad you did that.
It came out wonderful.
So, thank you. So I said, you know what? All right, let me figure this out, because I had a concept already for a jingle that we had worked out a few years back, but never really pursued it. So I brought that back, and I bought myself a keyboard right before COVID hit, because I said, you know what? There's 2 things that I'm going to need. I'll need my weights, and I'll need something to keep my brain alive and kicking. So let me just get a keyboard. I haven't touched one in 20 years, but let me get one anyway. So I got the keyboard, and then I started plunkering around, and all of a sudden this little idea that I had a while ago turned into something a little bit better. So I have some friends back home who are seasoned musicians, and I was a musician myself back in the day, but I left it for acting years ago. But they kept it up, and now here they are, in their early 60s, and they're still working musicians. They're doing fantastic work. So I decided, you know what, let me see if I can share this online and let them have a look at it and listen to it and get their opinion. Well, my buddy Larry Hughes, a fantastic musician from Montreal, he loved Captain Pump. So he said, hey, let me just play around with it and see what I can come up with. I said, sure, why not? Well, lo and behold, he played around with it, and then he gave it to his keyboard, Peter Kellogg, who is a fantastic musician in his own right. Now, they played together in a Santana cover band. Now, you know how good you have to be a Santana cover band.
Yes.
So long story short, we finished that one song, and it worked out. And in the meantime, I just sat and kept on writing. And I don't know where it came from. I still don't know where it came from. But, all of a sudden we have 15 songs. And,
wow.
Yeah. And we're only going to put 12 on the album, but they're all either about Captain Pump, Pumpland, about the characters. They revolve around the world itself. And every single song, even though they're pop songs, have specific lyrics that are kid friendly and certainly offer a message, something, a tool to help kids. We're working on one right now called Wash Your Hands. We're very excited about this, because this is something that we want to try and get into all the schools to help kids understand the essence of not just washing your hands because of the situation we're going through right now with this pandemic, but ongoing. It's very important to make sure that you keep your hands clean and that you look at your hygiene and things like that. So we're working on that video right now, which is the second one. We're very excited about that. The song itself is recorded, and we're doing all of this remotely, which is even more impressive. Yes. I mean, I haven't seen my buddies at all. They're up in Canada, and I'm down here in the States, and I just haven't had an opportunity, obviously, to go up there. And we're working on all these projects and all these songs just remotely. And I think it's unbelievable. Thank goodness we have the internet these days, right?
No kidding. Oh man, we wouldn't have met if not had the internet.
We wouldn't have met. I'm so glad we met.
I'm so glad we do too. You've been fabulous. We've actually moved beyond me as a publisher, advisor, consultant to a friendship, and yes. I love that.
Me
and
too.
I love working with authors. Obviously, you can tell. And I love helping them get their books out. So it's been a pleasure, and I see us continuing a professional relationship. And getting things out. So I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And I really appreciated when I saw your grandchildren, watch the Captain Pump and,
Oh man.
be enthralled with the video and really want to know more about it.
Oh, they did. They were into it. I wish they were here now because, and we could have put them in my lap and let them just watch it again. Their faces were awestruck, like, and they're dancing and they were glued. I mean, they didn't take it off their eyes when they watched this. So we know, and my grandbabies are pretty picky.
Yeah.
But Lord, they loved Captain Pump.
And they saw the 3-minute trailer. So what we just
Right.
played for your viewers was just the 30-second trailer.
Right.
But
They
we have
saw
a
the
full
3-minute.
3-minute kind of like with dialogue and the whole thing going on, which is the trailer to the show that we're going to pitch very shortly. So,
Well,
we're
you'll have to come back on Dr. Smell's Message and we pitch that.
I would love to.
Can't wait. Again, this is Dr. Mel, and I've been chatting with a wonderful author, Jason Finney, and his book, Captain Pump's Adventure. You want to get this, absolutely. Like I said, grandparents, aunts, uncles, school teachers, you know what? Even Sunday school classes can benefit and show this to them. So get the book, and while you're there, after you get the book, leave Jason a nice review. As authors, we love to hear from others and their impact. So again, Jason, thank you for today. I look forward to our next interview.
Thank you, Dr. Mel.
His books, he's got 3 of them out, are amazing.
Captain Pump, he saves the day the healthy way. Captain Pump, he'll help you run, jump, and pray, and he always knows just what